Please be patient with me, okay? My name is Yasuharu Nakano from Japan. Now, I always use Nobeans as my handle. I've ever developed some products. Today, I'd like to talk about GroovyServ and Grails Improx plugin in order to improve your productivity for developing Groovy script and Grails application. By the way, major risk in this session is my English skill. So, if you have any question, speak slowly and plain English, please. Yeah, my oral communication skill in English is really awful. So, but even if you do so, I may not understand you. Sorry in advance. Okay, my excuse is over. Let's begin. The first topic is GroovyServ. Let us suppose the situation of developing a Groovy script. Common strategy is trial and error. Writing and running, and writing and running. Yeah, it's important to repeat writing a code and running it in order to make sure that it works well and is along your intention. The script is gradually approaching the goal. But such the simplest code, printing hello Groovy, takes almost 1 second. Now, I bought this MacBook Pro Retina last year. This has quad-core CPU and SSID, so I think it's not bad spec, but it takes almost 1 second. As a result, n times trial error takes a second, at least. Yeah, many little makes a miracle. In addition, the waiting time makes me forget the next action. Why is the startup time of Groovy so slow? It's a problem of not only Groovy, but all JVM languages, because it's mainly caused by loading many classes from disk. According to Wikipedia, is it a doom of JVM languages? Any solutions? Yes, Groovy console, which is bundled with Groovy by default, is one of the solutions. Okay, do you know it? You know Groovy console? Oh, good. Okay. Just to make sure, let me show you a simple demo of Groovy console. Okay. Groovy console. Okay. Okay, this is a Groovy console. And print hello Groovy console and run it. It's very fast. It's very fast. Yeah, Groovy console is very handy for trying Java or Groovy APIs. But the features of the editor are not so rich. I want to use my favorite IDE or editor, HJJ or Vim, if possible, to write a code having more than a few lines. So, is there any solutions? Now, I introduce you GroovyServ. It makes the startup time of Groovy much faster by pre-invoking JVM process as a server. Let me show you a simple demo of GroovyServ. Okay, first, let me try a normal Groovy. And I use time command to measure the performance. Okay. Okay, it takes 0.766 seconds. And more? Yeah, it's same result. Okay. Then GroovyServ. GroovyServ provides a Groovy client command, which can be used instead of Groovy command. So I append only client, okay? Run it. 0.034 seconds. It's very fast. It's very fast. It seems fake, but it's not fake. Now if I change the code, the result is changed too. It actually works. Again, Groovy client is about 20 to 30 times faster than normal Groovy command. In normal Groovy, JVM process is invoked for each execution of Groovy command. On the other hand, in GroovyServ, a Groovy server keeps JVM process running in the background. It's releasing the TCP port by default 1961 port. And it's receiving the request from Groovy client and then execute it. Now let us think about the case again. This is a GroovyServ way. Write code with your favorite IDE or editor and run the code by using GroovyServ as external tool. You can also see the result on the console of IDE. Okay, let me show you it. No. Okay. This is a sample script opening an IntelliJ IDEA. And I've already set Groovy client as external tool. And its shortcut key I choose is Ctrl F9. Of course, you can use the key which you want. Okay, I push Ctrl F9. Good. Once again. Good. It's easy and fast. This is IntelliJ IDEA, so you can use full support of the IDE, code completion, syntax checking, and so on. Okay, I'll try it. New file, okay. Temp, hello text, and oh good. And append the text hello. And print in, oh, okay. File. No, no, oops. Oh, it's wrong spell. Yes, this. Okay. What? Something wrong? Okay. Why check? I tried Ctrl F9. Oh, okay, it works. And for each running, a number of hello increasing. Okay. As shown here, the combination of IDE and GroovyServ is very powerful. Okay, you can use GroovyServ as external tool in them, IntelliJ IDEA, Eclipse, Sublime Text 2, even Vim plus Quick Run plugin, and more. Yeah, that's the GroovyServ. Okay, how to install? I prepared the binaries for macOS 10.8 and Windows 7 and XP and Linux, but a binary form is too sensitive for the environment. It's often troublesome. So I recommend to build from source code on your machine if possible. If you use a Mac, the best way is to use Homebrew. It's a very easy way to build GroovyServ from source code on your own. And GroovyServ doesn't require any settings. You can use it as soon as you prepare the binary set. Of course, if you add the command path to path environment variable, you can more easily use it. Okay, and how to use. GroovyServ provides two commands. Groovy client is a front-end command. It invokes a Groovy file or a one-line encoder by sending a request to server. It also invokes GroovyServ process automatically if not exists. GroovyServ can control a server process. You should use it only when you want to specify special options, so it's not usually used. GroovyServ is available for other JVM languages. For example, JSON. JSON is an implementation of the Python written in Java. And Clojure. Clojure is a dialect of the Lisp. I think that you can also apply to other JVM languages. All you can do for this purpose is to specify an entry point of the language. For example, in case of Clojure, the entry point is main method of Clojure main class. I've talked only about use case and development phase so far, but of course GroovyServ can use to run a script at runtime. For example, a script to get scheduled data from GroovyWare as an edited macro, as a mail filter. It's also very useful at runtime. Okay, today there is not enough time and my vocabulary is not enough, so I introduce them just only keywords. GroovyServ provides a feature: access control, propagation of class path, propagation environment variable, the handling system exit, dynamics, current working directory. Okay, here's the turnaround point. Could you understand my English so far? Okay? Good. Okay. The pace is good. The next topic is Improx plugin. Okay, now let's turn our eyes toward development of Grails application. Grails test support is very great. Do you always write tests? I usually write tests for Grails application. Oh, phew, okay. This plugin is just for you. And for the other people, you would become wanting to write tests after this session. I hope so. How to run tests? To run tests in Grails, you can use test_app command. Without arguments, the command runs all tests, including unit and integration tests. But why I'm writing a test? I want to run only it, because running all tests takes too much time. So I want to run the test as fast as possible. Okay? To run a specified test as fast as possible, you should do that. The first point is specifying a target test class. This is yellow text. You can use a simple class name instead of FQCN pre-qualified class name. But simple class name may cause a conflict if there are classes which have the same name. So you should use FQCN if possible. The second point is specifying a test phase. This is green text. A unit, integration, functional are called a test phase. They are mapped to the name of directory and the test directory. It is clear that specifying the target test class name is effective for performance. But why does it need a test phase? The reason is this. If you run tests without specifying a phase and only with test class name, Grails tries to run both unit and integration test phase. Even though the test is unit test, and there is no integration test which has same name, and integration phase is run. Waiting the end of integration phase is just waste of time. Too bad. It's very, very slow. In this example, it takes 15 seconds. On the other hand, if you specify a unit test phase explicitly, only the unit test is run. The time is less than half of the previous slide, 7 seconds. Great. Okay, as a summary, we need these two information to run a test as fast as possible. FQCN pre-qualified class name of target test class. Test phase of target test class. Okay, by the way, let me ask you a question. How do you run a test while writing it? Okay, by IDE support? Okay, thank you. B, by Grails test app as a standalone? I mean, to run this Grails test app command in terminal for each execution. Oh, okay. C, by Grails test app via interactive mode. Good. Okay, others. No. Good. Okay, about A, IDE invokes Grails command with new JVM process for each time. So it's slow, just like the previous topic of normal Groovy. About B, it's same as A. It invokes Grails command with new JVM process for each time. About C, interactive mode is a great feature of Grails. I love it. Interactive mode is very useful. It makes command execution faster because the JVM doesn't have to be restarted for each command. The reason to be fast is similar to GroovyServ. To get into interactive mode, you just run Grails command with no arguments. And tab completion is also available. Great. Okay, just to make sure, let me show you interactive mode. There is a sample Grails application which has 4 tests. 2 unit tests and 2 integration tests. Okay, to get interactive mode, I run Grails command. Okay, interactive mode is ready. First, I'll try to specify a unit test phase. Unit test is faster than integration test because it doesn't need to run the whole Grails mechanism. It tests up unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It takes about 5 seconds. And one more time. 1, 2. It's too fast. It's much faster than the previous time because the required class have already loaded and prepared. And one more. Very fast. Next, let me try to run an integration test. Okay. Startup time of integration phase is much slower than unit test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. About 10 seconds. Okay, it's painful for me to wait 10 seconds for each test app. But from second time, 1, 2, 3 seconds. Much faster than the first time. This is the power of interactive mode. But the showing interactive mode is a great feature, but there is still some trouble. It needs frequent switching of windows for use while writing code in IDE or editor. And to run a test, you must prepare SQCN of target test class and test phase of target test class. Okay, let me show you that trouble. Okay. Oh. Okay. This is a sample project which I showed you at the previous demo, the same project. And this is a simple test class named Unit A tests. I'm writing this test now, and I want to run this in interactive mode. First, I'll get in interactive mode. Okay, ready. But reset. Okay, and then type test up, and then I believe that test phase of test class is unit. Okay, unit. And I want the fully qualified test class name. And actually, I know that this class name is unique in this simple project, so I can use a simple class name instead of FQCN. But if there are classes having the same name, you must specify FQCN. So at this time, let's try with FQCN. So first, I'll copy the package name. Okay, package name. Select and copy and switch in the window and paste it. Okay, and type dot for next class name. And next class name. Select class name and switch the window. Okay, and paste it. Okay, ready. At last, run it. Good. Okay, I'll try to change expected value. So switch the window, and some edit false. Okay, and switch the window. Okay, and then complete the previous command from history by up cursor key. Okay, and run it. Oh, it failed expectedly. Okay, I'll undo the change. Okay, switch the window and okay, and switch the window and run it. Okay. Okay. Now I just remember that I must run an integration test because my colleague asked me that. So I select the integration test with this test. Okay, and okay, type test app integration and very complicated. Okay. Good. His work seems good. Okay. Phew. How many times did I switch the window and copy paste? Yeah, many times. Very tired. So I introduce you Improx plugin. It provides a way of using interactive mode from other processes via TCP/IP. Okay, let me show you the same demo as the previous, but this time using Improx plugin. Okay, I won't run this test. Okay. First, I run interactive mode. Okay. Now we don't need nothing. Copy and paste the test class name, switch in the window, and typing appropriate test phase. Nothing. All you have to do is to run the Improx plugin, Improx client. And I've already set the Improx client as external tool in my IntelliJ. And its shortcut key I choose is the function key, F9. Okay, I'll push F9 key. Oh, it failed. Because Improx server hasn't started yet. Okay, let's start the Improx server. Improx start command. Good. Now Improx opens to 8096 port by default and listens it. Okay. Now I'll push F9 key again. Good. Oh, it's an integration test, so very slow. Okay, test passed. Okay, so the standard output stream and error stream are shown in console view of IntelliJ. And an executed command is shown here. And there are 2 points. The test phase is unit, good. Integration, good. And the free qualified test class name is specified, perfect. And the echo block is displayed on interactive mode console for each execution. One more. F9. Second time is fast. And echo back. Okay. And if your IDE has a feature to rerun the latest command, including external tool, and you can use a shortcut key for it, it makes TDD productive, very productive, because it allows us to run a test without switching editor tab while writing a product code. Okay, let me show you that. I've already configured my IntelliJ to rerun latest command by a shortcut key, Option R. Okay, and this is a test for calculator class. There is a test method which makes sure 2 plus 3 equals 5. Let's run it by Improx F9. Good. The product code seems to work well. But to tell the truth, it's just a temporary implementation. Like that. Offer implementation. So I'll fix this. Okay? First, let's add a new test using different number. Add triangulation of TDD. Okay, I've already written a test. Okay. 5 plus 7 equals 12. Okay, try to run it. Now, I can use, okay, it failed expectedly because the return value is hard-coded as 5. It's a wrong result. Okay. So I'll fix the product code. The goal is very clear, so I'll directly write final answer and obvious implementation. A plus B. Okay. And now I can use the shortcut key Option R to rerun the latest external tool without switching the editor tab. Good. Somehow, at the first run, just after editing, the change seems to be ignored. But rerun again, it works, maybe. Good, good, test passed. I noticed this problem this morning, so I'll check it later. Anyway, all tests passed. Now my work has finished. By Improx plugin, we need no longer switching window and switching tab. Okay? Using Improx plugin, you can run a test faster than general IDE supports because using interactive mode. And you can run a test directly from IDE or editor without complicated operation. Very easy way. You can use Improx client and external tools in them. They are the same as GroovyServ. Improx means interactive mode proxy. Actually, the architecture is that Improx server opens and listens a TCP port, which is 8096 by default, and receives the command line from clients via the TCP port, and delegates the command to Grails script runner class via interactive mode class, which are the Grails classes used when you normally run a command in interactive mode. So like this, it works just a proxy. In Improx, some commands are unsupported. But if you use Improx only to run a test, I think it's not a problem. Okay. It's just a Grails plugin, so the installation is very easy. Improx plugin provides some client scripts. You can install them by Improx install resources command. There are some shell scripts, so you must add an execute permission to them. You can use them in command for different projects, so I recommend installing them to global paths. For example, .improx resources under your home directory. Once you store them to global paths, you don't need the preparation for other projects. The plugins add 3 commands to your application. These are commands to start up a server and to stop it. Very simple. While Improx is running, you can run exit command to exit interactive mode without Improx stop command, no problem. Or you may use Ctrl+C. So actually, I rarely use the Improx stop command. This command is to install client scripts. You saw it in the previous slide. They are client scripts to send a command to a server via TCP port. Shell script is better because it's simple and faster. But if your platform doesn't support shell script, you can use a Groovy script. When using the Groovy script, I strongly recommend to use GroovyServ to run it. I think you already know the reason, okay? Improx client requires a command line as an argument. It runs a command in interactive mode via TCP port or Improx server. It's very simple, like this. And Improx Smart Invoker requires file path, which extension is Groovy. This invokes any Groovy file in appropriate way. It's very handy for IDE or editor. How smart is it? Improx Smart Invoker works the following. First, if you specify a Groovy file and a test unit directory as an argument, Improx Smart Invoker runs this Grails command as follows. Specify the test phase from test directory and resolve the execution from the file path. Similarly, if you specify a Groovy file and the test integration directory as an argument, Improx Smart Invoker runs this Grails command. So you don't need to specify a test phase and the SQCM, taking the trouble. Next, in case of file and the test functional directory, Improx Smart Invoker runs this Grails command as new standalone Grails process. It's because functional test doesn't work well on interactive mode at present. In other cases, Improx Smart Invoker tries to run it as a normal Groovy script. In addition, if you install GroovyServ, the Groovy client command is automatically used instead of a normal Groovy command. So to make the best use of Improx plugin, all you have to do is to set Improx Smart Invoker script as external tool of your IDE or editor. Well, I wanted to say just so, but there is one pitfall. Note that to run functional tests and Groovy script, Improx Smart Invoker requires their command path. So if you want to use them, you have to make your IDE or editor be able to use the appropriate path environment variable. Unfortunately, in case of IntelliJ IDEA, you cannot use the arbitrary environment variable with external tool at present. So then you must edit your Improx Smart Invoker script and replace directory with an absolute path of the command. Okay, let me show you a protocol of Improx It's very simple. On TCP/IP, you can send just only command line text. Then Improx run it on server and send back the result of the command. So you can use any existing command which can talk TCP as Improx client. So you can use telnet, mc command, and so on. Okay, telnet localhost 8096. Okay, help. Good. And test up. Very good. NC command. Okay, NC command localhost. Okay. Good. Test up unit. Very good. And in addition, you can use HTTP protocol. So you can use any existed command which can talk HTTP. So you can use a web browser, wget command, call, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so wget local host help. Then the result is help in the help file. And browser. Localhost help like this. Oh, it's too time. For more information, check the URLs. Okay, oh, there's too much time remaining. Pest control to talk in foreign language is very difficult for me. So I have no confidence whether I can understand your question and answer it at least. Any questions? Come on. No? Okay. Good. Thank you very much.
Great. So we have a break until 12 o'clock.